making your sound better.
What is up, YouTube? DAZKOL here from WA Production, and today we're gonna make this. Alright, let's get our Serum empty patch. We're gonna use a sub bass, direct out, level all the way down. Oscillator A is gonna be a analog PWM Genji. We're gonna move the wavetable position to about 30%. The work mode is gonna be a FM from B, and we're gonna crank this up to 50%. Oscillator B is gonna be a analog basic shapes, and we want to move the wavetable position to 3 and mute this guy as well as the LFO 1. For the filter, we're going to use a multi-eye notch 12 and have everything pretty much around 11 o'clock like that. Cool, so I'm going to load in my LFO, and this one is the one controlling the volume of the first oscillator, of the sub bass oscillator, and of some effects. So now we should be hearing something like this. That's about right as far as rhythm is concerned. We're gonna switch the noise on and have the LFO1 going through that as well. And now let's move on onto the work mode. We're gonna assign the LFO1 to the work mode to about -12, and then hold Shift and Alt and split the LFO, and we should be hearing something like this now. Now we're gonna assign the LFO to the wavetable position as well and give it a 20 to 25 value and tweak it a bit, and we should be hearing this. For the work mode on the oscillator B, we're gonna switch to sync and have this guy up to 11 o'clock and assign the first LFO to it as well and give it a 13 value for now, and now we should be hearing something like this. If we crank up the octaves to about 2, and there we have it, 3 octaves up, and it's starting to get there. Now we're gonna start using our filter, the high notch, and give it about 20% values on each of the knobs, the cutoff, resolution, and the frequency as well. For the frequency, we're gonna hold Shift and Alt and split the LFO both ways and give it a 50% value. Now we should be hearing something like this. Cool, let's move on to the effects, and I'm gonna load in the rack, which is called Tutorial, very convenient. And we're gonna assign the LFO1 to the EQ that we're gonna move up here and give it about 10 to 15% value on the frequency, the gain of the whole frequency spectrum. So it's gonna be something like this now. For the pitch, we're gonna go to our matrix and select this one here and give it about 2 bars value, and I'm gonna load in the shape I made before just for time's sake, and it's shaped like this. This is our pitch envelope, and we're gonna select LFO2, and on the destination we're gonna select global master tune and give it a 12 semitones value. While we're at it, we could go on our auxiliary source and select the macro one, and this is going to control basically the dry wet of the pitch. We're going to call that pitch. Now if we move back to our oscillators, it's going to sound something like this. You notice how the sound just changed as I move the pitch knob here. Now if I make the first LFO an envelope, right click and set loop back point here in this area, it's gonna loop and should be sounding something like that now. So yeah, very simple but very effective. If you want to play around with it, you could assign the one macro to like a wavetable position, and when you do macros, always have them on 100% so you have a clear idea what's it gonna be when it's all the way up. So if we assign the macro 2 to like the wavetable position and the sync mode here, and now we can go like to the effects and we can assign the macro 2 as well to the flanger, have the flanger all the way down, and we could call this like custom because it's doing a lot of things. And now we should be hearing something like this. You notice how the sound just dramatically changed. Now I could also play with the pitch a bit more and assign the macro to like the semitone values on the second oscillator and play around with it, and let's see what it sounds like. And if you want the sound to be normal, you just keep it on 50% here, and now we can call this like semitone. And if we change it up, it's going to change our sound. Cool, that's pretty much everything, guys. Don't forget to subscribe to WA Production, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace!